that first practice on the ice for development camp, splitting it up, focusing with your group of goaltenders a little bit, and then joining the group. Can you just tell us a little bit about the things that you worked on and how you felt in that first on-ice session?
Yeah, I mean, I'd start. It's great to be back here. First practice wasn't the easiest. I mean, the elevation, my lungs hurt a little bit, but I'm happy to be here. Focus with the goalies a lot on the release and tracking, which I think it's very important. And I think like if I like compare the first and second session, like I could see like a big improvement in that. So I think it was a great start, and I'm looking forward for the next days.
How did this year go at UMass for you in terms of finding consistency in your game in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, first couple months weren't the best, but I think the coaches, they squeezed me well. They showed me what they need from me, and I think I gave the team what they needed. I think overall, like the season was good, but now I'm focused on the next year and trying to win something.
What went into the decision to stay at UMass rather than signing in the NHL?
Just talking with my parents and agent. As a goalie, I don't think there's rush anywhere. I think I'm still young, and playing less games, having more time to practice. I think I can still get stronger, improve overall on and off the ice, and I think that's going to help my game a lot.
Been in the pipeline for a while now. Just kind of curious, where do you feel like you've made the most improvements in your game?
I think like the last 3 years I'm in USA, the biggest improvement is in consistency, which is one of the most important things for goalie. So that connects to the mental aspect of the game. I think I improved a lot in that. So on the ice, everything, tracking, skating, just trying to get better every day. But there's still a lot of space to improve. If I want to be in the NHL, still got a lot to do.
How do you feel like the value of competition in Hockey East specifically has kind of helped you develop the guys you're facing every weekend?
Yeah, I mean it's a great league, hard hockey. Every game is very important, which I think is probably the best thing. So just playing a good game every week, getting a lot of shots. So I would say that like hockey is probably the best conference for a goalie, and I'm very happy I chose UMass.
It's no secret Utah needs a goalie in the next few years. Is that exciting for you, knowing that there's a space for you if you work towards it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I look at it that way. Right now, I'm at school. I'm trying to finish school, trying to win games, improve, and then we'll see what the next step will be. My goal is to play in the NHL one day, and I'm going to do anything I can to achieve that.
How was your experience at World Juniors, and how did that kind of help propel your game forward?
Yeah, I think definitely a big confidence boost. Just knowing you can play against the best players in your age. We had a great group there, so I enjoyed the time a lot, and I'll definitely remember both of the World Juniors, and they also gave me a lot. Just learning a lot about my mental game, how to improve, how to play well in playing a lot of games in few days. So I'm very happy I could have represented my country.
What stands out about the development coaches here and the goaltending coaches helping you out at this development camp?
I think that they have a experience with NHL, so giving me some tips, because of course college and NHL it's a different league. So there's going to definitely have to be some transition, and just hearing any tips is good, and I'm trying to be a sponge and trying to improve myself.
How often are you in contact with Hrabal? Has he given you any tips or anything like that?
He's from a different part of Czech Republic, so I'll be honest. I just talked with him once after the draft. Since then, we didn't talk much.
What's it like just being back in Utah this time around, Mammoth, the whole branding around the team?
Yeah, I mean it's great. It's great to see all the guys, the staff again. Made a lot of friends here. Utah is beautiful, the nature here. So the elevation isn't the best, but it just takes a couple of days. But I hope one day this will be my home.
Thank you, Michael.
Being back here at development camp, being with people, being able to grow your own game with support from the NHL and your organization, how will that help you this summer in improving going into next season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's huge. It's obviously fun to be here and kind of test yourself and compare and contrast to other prospects. But, like the development coach has been giving like all of his prospects lots of feedback and kind of got what we got to work on going into summer training. So just talking to like Brooksy and Chancey a lot and Lee, and, they've been giving me lots of feedback, just trusting my speed, my physicality, and, I'm a big body out there. So I feel like I just got to use my body more. And I think like going into pro next year, that's going to be a big thing to adjust to. So been just trying to focus on that, getting stronger, faster, and just trying to push for a roster spot.
What are the biggest things you learned at camp last year that you kind of focused on going into your season this year to prove, you're ready for the pros?
I would just say probably just like the daily habits that, the guys at the top there are doing every day. I mean, it's pretty contagious to see kind of how they treat their bodies and what they're doing before skates and after skates. So just learning from them and, just having an identity, I think that's a big thing. I mean, a lot of people like moving up to the NHL, like they kind of got to know where they're going to play, either like top six or bottom six. So I think for me, it's easy. I think I'm a bottom roll guy that, it's just like going to be hard to play against, and, lots of speed and physicality. So I'm just trying to help the team win. And, I think that was a big thing I noticed last year at training camp, kind of just where I'm fitting in my identity. So trying to do that going into summer.
Last year in Tucson, did anything surprise you, or did any of it prepare you for any other hockey you're going to play?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, once you get to that level, I think you're just playing against men. I mean, it's just completely different. Like, guys are trying to put food on their tables for their family, and going back to junior hockey, you're, playing with 16, 17-year-olds. So it's definitely different, but, you kind of got to learn to, take hockey really seriously. Although it's why you play, it's fun. But, I mean, at that level, it's just the flip stop, like the switch has got to be flipped at some point. So I think that's what I noticed in my time in Tucson.
What are your goals this year?
Well, I mean, I think like everyone's goal, I want to make the roster. I mean, there's so much excitement about this city and the new logo and everything, the Mammoth. I mean, there's so much buzz around it. So I think coming into camp and showing what I'm about, and I think I'll be pushing for a roster spot.
The team has made some signings, some trades this offseason. What's it like for you watching the organization, actively want to turn a corner?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's exciting. I mean, it really shows that, this organization's going the right direction. I mean, watching the season last year, they really made a push for the playoffs. So I think with the new additions they're bringing in this year, it'll be, a really good squad, and, it'll be exciting to watch.
What's developing out of the Brotherhood with this group and all the other prospects that you're in a pool with?
Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, one of my best buddies here, Maverick Lemmer, he was my roommate at Team Canada World Junior. So when I got drafted by Utah, it was kind of cool to have him. And then obviously Cole Baudouin, we're from the same hometown of Canada, Ontario. So I've been kind of skating with him the last couple of years, and just meeting new guys. I mean, lots of guys that play in the QMJHL and other leagues, played against my older brother and stuff. So it's kind of cool. I mean, once you get here, the hockey world's so small. So it's really fun to kind of get to know guys and kind of see what their skills are. So
something we've heard about that culture, though, is also holding each other accountable in the locker room and pushing each other because you all want to be fighting the same way. Is that also developing at this dev camp as well?
For sure. I mean, there's definitely a brotherhood, and I think we saw that at the rookie tournament last year. I mean, it was kind of the first time we were all on the ice together, and it was a really cool experience. So starting to build that chemistry with the guys in the room. It's really fun, and I think it'll translate on the ice.
Has anyone surprised you so far at camp? Somebody that you didn't expect to be the way that he is?
I mean, to be honest, everyone. I feel like everyone's gotten a step better. I mean, from last summer. I've always been a big fan of my line mate Noel Nord in the Sioux. So I think he's taken some big strides. But obviously seeing a lot of the prospects, like obviously a fourth overall pick anyway. He was a good player, really smooth skater. So. I mean, everyone's gotten a step better, and that's what you kind of expect going into the summer. So it's going to be fun how everyone shows at main camp.
This season, in and out of the lineup with some upper body injuries, how are you feeling? And also, how did you make sure that you were staying, calm during those times and not feeling too left out, not being able to play?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was definitely a test this year. I mean, I definitely faced some adversity dealing with 2 major concussions, so it's kind of knew that stuff. But I had some good people in my corner. I mean, my family, my agent, and obviously Vince Lodato. I mean, amazing guy. Really helped me out a lot this year. So probably wouldn't be where I am without them. So I mean, it was definitely a new experience. Wasn't expecting it. Obviously getting sent down by Tucson. You want to do well in the OHL, and I had Nordy on my line, so 2 Utah prospects. But everything happens for a reason. I think it made me strong in the end. So I'm really happy to be healthy, and I'm feeling great. So.
And the taste of the playoffs there as well. A couple of games you had 4 points, I believe, through 5 games. For you to be able to just contribute immediately off the bat, what did you learn from that playoff experience?
Yeah, for sure, it's cool. I mean, being at that level, it's definitely different, but you know, it was a really cool experience, and I'm really excited to be here right now and kind of prove myself. So.
Did you expect Brady Martin to go as high as he did in the draft there?
Yeah, I did. I mean, you know, Brady and I are pretty close, and you know, I was calling him before the draft and stuff, and he was kind of thinking, you know, that 4 to 7 range. But I knew Nashville liked him a lot, and I know also Utah liked him a lot. But it's too bad we couldn't pick him. But we made obviously a great choice with Caleb. So I mean, obviously 2 great players, and you know, I hope the best for them in their careers ahead. So Nashville got a good prospect. So yeah, it's fun.
Have you been to the farm?
No, actually I wasn't. The team went to the farm whenever I was in Tucson. Noel and I were in Tucson, so pretty disappointed in that. But I think maybe this summer I'll make my way up there.
We just talked to Michael Hrabal about, decision to go back to UMass, his development. How different is it with goaltenders, and how do you guys kind of view the time he probably needs to take the next step?
I think it's a larger decision for everyone, not my decision. Management, I think, in consultation with us and the goaltending department. Goalies typically take a while to develop, and they need to play games. So he needs to be in a spot where he can play games. And at UMass, he's the man. He's a huge part of that team, and they're going to go as far as he takes them in a sense. So it's a great spot for him. And the biggest thing with goalies is they got to be in a spot where they have the opportunity to play games and gain that experience, which is unique compared to skating prospects.
Specific parts of his game, like what are you guys looking for improvements or areas where he comes into these dev camps that you want to see from him?
I'm not super technical on that stuff. I think for him, I've noticed a big change in just his presence in the net. He's obviously a big player, but the goal is you want to see that presence in the net. Things I've noticed, I think he tracks the puck better. That's something you've seen growth in over the year where he's looking out to the point, there's some traffic in front, being able to pick up that puck as it's coming in, so there's fewer rebounds, and playing the puck, it's just an advantage if you can do it. And he's made strides there. He had a really strong year, he's exceptional down the stretch. For UMass, it was a huge part of them making the push into the tournament, so we're really happy with them and excited to see where he goes.
What do you think about Daniel Yoy so far?
Good. He's an impressive kid. We were thrilled when we drafted him. Great personality. Obviously a talented player, but he's young. It's going to take time. But he's talented. He's smooth with the puck. Makes plays. Just a really good brain for the game, and it's been great to get to know him a little bit. It's been great to see how he fits in with the other guys here, and he's going to be a great fit for Utah.
TJ Kinlan coming off double hip surgery, just curious, how does he look to you guys right now, and how comfortable does he appear to be skating and whatnot?
He looks good. He looks really good. It's sort of his first time being with a group like this. I thought he looked great. He's a really talented player. He can shoot the puck. Great offensive brain, and to me, he looks like he hasn't missed a step. And when you talk to him, he just said he feels much more comfortable than even the day-to-day living, so it should translate on the ice. But it's great to see him out here, especially not knowing exactly how much he's able to participate, and it's been fun.
Besides seeing these players in person for the first time this summer, how will you use this week or 5 days for these players to make sure they're getting their skills better, learning what it takes to be a pro, and overall advancing their game?
Yeah, there's I think there's a few different aspects to it. One of them is just getting to know the players. The new draft picks, you get to see how they interact. For us as a development staff, get to know them on a personal level, have a couple meals with them, talk to them, which helps build that relationship to work with them moving forward. On the ice, we use it as an opportunity to teach them a lot of stuff. Junior players you can get on the ice with, but college players, you can only do video and visit them. So it's a time where we can sort of build our vocabulary. Hey, when we say this is what we actually mean, and do more hands-on teaching. There's a huge piece off the ice where we're teaching about being a pro, but also sort of life skills. They're young guys. What that entails. And then I think a big thing for us as a group is sort of bonding them together. It's a team building. It's what it means to play for Utah. It's sort of a continuation right from the NHL team. We're building something special here, and there's a trickle down effect. And what's that mean? And sort of get them to buy into that and bond together. Because when you look at the team moving forward, like every year a guy that's been in this camp has been on to play in the NHL, and guys go from here to rookie tournament to the NHL, and it's for me it's sort of the foundation we're laying here that allows them to do that. So it's for me less an evaluation tool and more of a teaching tool and getting to know them.
Simashev and Boot finally signed. How much contact do you have with them during the year in terms of preparing them for this, but knowing they're playing in the KHL, a different style?
Yeah, it's talked to them quite a bit. Zoom calls and sending video and clips. Like we watch all their games and do that. But it's they play every other day. They play a lot of games. They're playing in the KHL where like they're on a team that's not a developmental league. They're playing to win. So helping them through some of those situations. Well, we talk to them a lot. They're both great kids. Speak English well, and they're excited to be here. So for us, it's fun to see them and work with them for 2 years and have them come over and see what they can do. But we're with those guys, it's helping them where we can, and a lot of it's like what you can expect when you come over, what it's gonna be like living here, how the game's played here, how the coaches are gonna be with you here, what type of systems we play. So it's sort of laying the groundwork so when they're here, our coaches here can have a smoother transition.
What kind of development have you seen from Baudouin over this last year, and how far removed do you think he is from the NHL at this point?
I can't answer that question. That's above my pay grade. But he's improved a lot. The thing we've asked him to do, 2 years to focus on have been skating, which he's working at. Once he's moving, he's strong. He's a powerful guy. He skates well when he's in flight. It's sort of that lateral mobility we've worked on and seen growth in. And the other area is asking him to make more plays with the puck. He's a big guy, can hold on to pucks. And he did a great job of that this year. Like we've tracked that, analytically and with video, and he's made huge strides in that area where he's getting pucks he's winning because of his size or recovering and turning those into positive plays. So he had a really strong year. He's a great kid. I know I've said that about everyone, but it's a credit to the scouting staff. But he's big, he's strong, he's eager to learn, and I thought he had a great year in Barrie this year.
I'm also curious about the dynamic, developing Tej as a player. Do you involve Jerome in that with your relationship with him?
A little bit. So I played with Jerome, and then Jeff Shantz, who actually works with Tej, also played with Jerome. Okay. So there's a lot of connections there. I think more on like sort of the personal level a little bit. What Tej is like, what he needs, some of that stuff. Obviously you had a dad like that, you're gonna ask your dad questions and do that stuff. But we definitely do it. We have our own plan for him, and there's definitely a line of communication. But Jerome's not really giving us much input on that. I'm sure he's talking to Tej and they're asking questions, but they've also let us do our thing too. So
when working with Tej, through his injury, I know you did Zoom, video, that kind of stuff. What stood out about him as an individual and his want to be able to participate in dev camp, training camp, everything?
He's obsessed with hockey, and I say that in the best way possible. Like he's watching video, he's asking questions. He wanted to know like what type of systems we're going to play next year in Utah, so he can get a leg up. So in training camp, he's already seen it and previewed it, things like that. He's pushing the envelope. Like if he can shoot pucks, he's shooting pucks. If he can, I go back to last year rookie tournament. He couldn't go, and he brought his stick and a ball back to the hotel and was just dribbling around in the hallway. So it's great. The passion he has for the game is awesome, and for us was channeling that into doing things with it that were little projects for him and helping him, because you felt his frustration being injured, not being able to play. So he's obsessed with hockey, like I said, in the best way possible, and he used for me, he used the mental side and the mental reps and watching games and video and all that stuff. Like he made strides in his development this year, even when he wasn't playing.
Is he more competitive than his dad?
I don't know. Jerome's one of the most competitive guys I ever played with. If he's close to that, I think we're going to be thrilled. So he's definitely competitive, though. He's out there, but you're talking about Jerome there. So.
With all the advancements in technology and resources to these young players, how are you seeing each class come in even more prepared and have a stronger understanding of what it takes to be a stronger hockey player? Yeah,
they have access to everything now. So a lot of guys have a skills coach, skating coach, things like that. So for us, it's finding a way to work in conjunction with them, because you don't want competing things. And sort of no different than how we work with their coaches during the season. So we're there to, complement what they're doing and sort of fill in gaps if there are any. Because when you're coaching a team, you're coaching all the individuals on the team, and we're trying to help, our specific player. And a lot of it's like the technology has made it smoother. Like we can track more stuff, we can share more stuff, we can, sort of gauge where they're at. And I think one of the big things is sort of tracking progress. So it's objective. It's not, hey, you need to do this better. We can show them like, hey, this hasn't improved or this has improved. And it's there's tons of information. Like I started doing my first year as working in analytics and sort of drank out of the fire hose learning on that. And it's been finding what's what's actually helping those players improve and what helps you win games versus just the interesting facts that are out there.